What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Andy Abramson here. Hey, just jumping on for just a couple minutes today. It's been a crazy few weeks, so I haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody, go live, see what's happening in the world of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the channels that we connect to. But hey, I want to talk for just a couple minutes today. I've been thinking a lot. In fact, we're jumping on a few minutes here with our team, just looking at man, sometimes the things that we tell ourselves in our minds are not always accurate. I've just been thinking about that a lot over the last few days. So I'll give you a couple stories. Um, Jumped on a call, actually a second call with a college pastor here this week. And in our first call, just like there's part of me as I was kind of reading him and reading the situation, then I'm like, oh man, like I kind of assume certain things about what he needed, what he didn't need, like kind of making some of those assumptions. And it was interesting. Like I ended up putting out an email, I think it was like last week or so, and just kind of like made an offer. And he responded to that offer. And so we jumped on a call this week and talked through it. And as I began to kind of realize the things that he was needing in his ministry and his leadership, one of the things I realized was, man, I read that situation wrong. Like I was kind of creating things in my mind that actually weren't true, right? I was kind of creating stories. I'll give you a second example. So there's we connected with another leader several months ago and hadn't heard back from this leader at all. We had kind of been talking, moving forward with some ideas and some things we wanted to do, and then everything just kind of went silent. And so what happens is then I start like creating stories in my mind of like, well, this is what they're feeling, and this is what they're thinking, and this is why they're not responding. And I ended up jumping on a call again this week to talk with this person and realize that all of those stories that I was telling myself, all the narratives I was creating, all the things that I was like imagining, like those things just weren't true. And I was just reflecting on that yesterday. And actually, some of you may have seen the post that I put um, yesterday on Facebook of like, don't always trust the stories that your mind is telling you. And that was just a huge reminder for me of just like, man, there are times in our lives where we create narratives, and you have to know like your tendency in terms of like types of narratives that we create. My wife always jokes with me. She says that she's like the eternal optimist and I'm kind of the pessimist, right? So the stories that I create often are like pessimistic stories, right? They're like I'm thinking about, well, this person isn't responding because they don't like me, or they are frustrated, or they don't want to work with us, or like all these kind of stories that we're creating. And it was just a good reminder, like, when we're by ourselves, like we can't always trust the stories that our mind is create, or the stories that our mind is creating. And we need to like make sure we're going off accurate data, and so if somebody's not responding or somebody's not doing things, like we never know the things that are going on with them, right? We don't know the situation, we don't know what they're feeling, we don't know what's behind the scenes that we don't see. And we just need to be reminded, like we need to get that accurate data of saying, okay, why are they acting like this way? Why are they not responding? Why are they, you know, moving in this direction? And actually beginning to like identify those things so we're not creating stories. And so, man, I felt like I want to share that today because I feel like that we do that, right? We just create stories in our minds of what people need, what they don't need, why they're responding the way they are, why they're not responding. And often we just don't know what's happening in the situation that is behind the scenes and going on. So encouragement today for you. I've been challenged with it the last few days, even in these couple scenarios, as I realized this week of like, man, stories I was telling myself, they were wrong. They were wrong. So hope that's encouraging for you today. Just thinking about kind of putting that out for some of you guys as you watch, listen, both in our Facebook group and and my profile page. So, hey, we got some cool stuff happening. If you need help, reach out to us. We got a sweet killer offer that we're putting out in front of several of our leaders about doing some work each quarter with them, coming here to Austin, doing some work on their college young adult ministry. If you're interested, love to share more with you about that. As always, reach out if you need something. We love you guys. Keep pushing forward. We're proud of all the work that you're doing. Okay, talk to you later.